Mr. Transformers 96 here, so in the video, and we talk about a new Marvel Legends figure. This time it's from the X-Men Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave, being Multiple Man. Very excited about this figure coming out. This is one of my most anticipated figures of the wave, actually. I like Multiple Man. I like any, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants character, and although Multiple Man isn't exclusive to that club, he is a member of it in some iteration, so I always enjoy a new figure or a new character from that group. So great artwork on the side there. Here you have the rest of the assortment. I was able to find this on retail. There's just one Target in my area that's like stocking this wave. They've stocked it twice now, and I've been able to get a few figures from that store. But other than that, I haven't found this wave anywhere else. But anyway, I found Multiple Man. I found him twice at the same store, so I only picked up one. I'd like to get one or two more, to be honest, but I just don't want to pay a full $20 just for another one, especially since I don't need the Build-A-Figure pieces, of course, so wouldn't mind getting a few more on a discount. Psylocke I was able to pick up and have reviewed, so you can check that out too. As far as the rest of the assortment, Sabretooth, Magneto, and Storm I'll buy right away as soon as I see them, just haven't found them yet. Gladiator and Wolverine I have found, but I passed on simply because I don't want to pay full retail for either of them. Gladiator I don't even want, I just want his Build-A-Figure piece. Wolverine I want, but I just want him at a discount. Don't want to pay the full price. And then here's the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. Very excited for that Build-A-Figure, just because mainly it's Apocalypse, so that's why I'm mainly excited for him. But here's Multiple Man, of course, a figure that lends itself to being army builders and just being bought multiple versions of, which is why I find it very strange that I found two of them, considering, like, I would think this would be slightly rarer in the series, because not everybody is going to want Multiple Man, but the ones that do will probably want more than one, so I would figure that this would be a bit of a rarer figure in the wave. However, I found it twice, which is nice. I'm going over the actual figure here, though. I find this figure really good. The body sculpt is your standard kind of Marvel Legends male body sculpt that's of this size. The differences are the arms. I believe, if I'm not, the thing is, they've been using this jacket, style figure for quite a while, so I feel like these arms have been reused from in the past. I just don't quite know which figure they originated from, so I don't think that these arms are new for Multiple Man, but they're new for me at least. I don't have another figure that has arms like these. However, the coat itself, this has been used for the longest time, ever since Nick Fury from years ago. So they are still reusing this jacket, which is a good jacket, but on that Nick Fury, the arms were horrible. So I'm glad that they did change the arms, redesign them. They made them bulkier, which makes more sense considering he's got more, he's got like 2 layers of clothing on essentially in the arms, and it allows them to sit closer to the body. That was the worst thing with Nick Fury. He'd always have to have his arms out so far because they wouldn't be able to like stand close to the body at all. But the body underneath is painted really nicely. He's got a dark blue kind of skin-tight bodysuit, and then he has yellow on the dark blue. And although there is a bit of a wavy paint to it, just because they're so different color-wise, but overall it's very straight, so I do like that quite a bit. The head sculpt is excellent. He comes with 3, which is so smart considering it allows you to army build them. Marvel Legends, Hasbro has really gotten smart about pandering to the army builders needs. I just kind of like give you incentives to army build. They did this with the Red Skull figure recently, where they just gave you a ton of heads, so they like you don't just have to have the same version of each character. Like, you'll get more expressions with them too. It's the smartest thing to do. But as you can see, it comes with 2 like mass heads. One's just kind of like a smirk, one's angry, which I think these are the 2 best heads for sure. And then he comes with one just serious head that doesn't have the mask on. Now the serious head I have issues with, just because I think it's a nice sculpt and all. It doesn't really look like Multiple Man to me. Like, it looks like these are 2 different characters. It looks like this is a younger character actually. So I don't feel like that's the same character with the mask off, which is something that I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't quite look like it's the same character. So I'm not too into it. I think that if I had like a ton of these Multiple Man figures, I'd basically just use the 2 masked ones. I think that the masked ones look better. I would have preferred that the 3rd head sculpt was masked, but with just a serious expression. So you'd have 3 masked head sculpts, one's serious, one's got a smirk, and then one's angry. That would have been the best in my opinion personally. But instead you get 2 masks with 2 different expressions, and then the last one with a different expression that's unmasked. So it's up to you. You might enjoy that unmasked head sculpt, but for me personally. I think the masked ones just look a lot better. My only issue is that, like on the angry head sculpt for me, the X isn't painted within the lines perfectly. It's a little off, so that is disappointing. On my other head sculpt, though, it is painted on perfectly, just about. So overall, that's definitely disappointing, especially since this angry head sculpt is the one that I prefer the most. If I were to get a second multiple man, of course, then I'll just use the angry head sculpt that's got the good X, because that would be nice. As far as his articulation, it's your standard Marvel Legends. He's got a ball jointed head on a hinge. He's got ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel, single hinge elbows that go like I'd say a little bit further than 90 degrees, and then hinge swivel wrists. He's got an ab crunch which can crunch forward this far. It doesn't really crunch back. I mean, it does, but because of the jacket, you can't really get it to. He's got a swivel swivel waist. He's got ball jointed thighs, which can go out about this far. It can kick forward a full 90 degrees. He's got a swivel at the thigh, double hinge knees, swivel at the calf, and then hinge pivoting ankles. Overall, standard Marvel Legends articulation, which is of course quite excellent. So overall, I actually really like this figure. Just to give you a little variety here, here's the smirk. One thing that's nice about having two different expressions is that the poses you can put them in are very different. For any like action style poses, I'd use the angry head sculpt. And then for any just kind of fun stances, I'd use the smirk. Even just putting his hands on his hips look pretty good with the smirk, I have to say. So overall, I think that this is quite a nice figure. I enjoy it quite a bit, and it's based on a character that I do enjoy too. I was excited when the Multiple Man movie was announced with James Franco, but now with the Disney acquisition, I don't see that happening at all. So there's a good chance we'll never actually see that movie. But it was a nice idea and something that I was kind of very interested in. At the very least, I was extremely curious about. So it's a shame we'll never get that. But this figure is quite nice, and again, I would like one or two more of this figure just to have a representation of his powers being the fact that he can split himself into, like, I don't know if he has a limit. That's interesting. He must have some sort of limit, but I think he can do like hundreds in some iterations at least. But yeah, overall, that's my review of the Marvel Legends from the X-Men Apocalypse series Multiple Man. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and thanks so much for watching.